Today you're going to learn a technique that will help you enhance your credibility in business and speak with the poise, passion, and persuasive power of a Broadway actor. Why an actor? What do you, as a business speaker, have in common with actors?
We love to speak.
You love to speak.
We're playing a role.
You're playing a role.
We're in front of an audience.
You're in front of an audience. All of this is true. Successful business speakers have a lot in common with actors. They all know that the key to persuasive speaking is to inspire belief within the hearts and the minds of the listeners. The actor's world is one of make-believe. The actor's craft is the ability to make the listeners believe. And the number one belief-building technique for actors is the use of what we call acting objectives. And today you're going to learn how you can apply this technique to your own business presentations so that you'll speak with maximum power, a power that comes from your complete commitment, a commitment that is visible on your body and audible in your voice. In my career as a professional actor and my work as a business speaker, I have occasionally neglected to use this technique, and invariably, whenever I have neglected to use this technique, I received a big no instead of the yes that I was hoping for. Here's one example from my life as an actor. The year is 1971. I'm standing on stage of the Juilliard School of Drama, and I've just completed my audition for the school. I am eagerly studying the faces of the decision makers. One of them, an austere-looking woman, speaks to me. "Maria, that was a very nice audition, but you have a sibilance in your speech. You will never have a career in the theater." Hundreds of auditions later, and a few acting jobs later, the year is now 1973. I'm standing on stage of the Folger Shakespeare Theater in Washington, D.C. And I've just completed my audition for a lead role in Shakespeare's A Midsummer Night's Dream. I look pretty much the way I look now, but younger. I am eagerly studying the faces of the decision makers. One of them speaks to me. "Maria, very nice audition. And we would like to see you again sometime after you've lost about 50 pounds. Hundreds of auditions later, and a number of acting jobs later, the year is now 1976. I'm standing on stage of the Court Theater, New York City, on Broadway, and I've just completed my audition for a lead role in a play that David Merrick is producing. I'm eagerly studying the faces of the decision makers. One of them speaks to me. "Maria, that was a very nice audition, but we just get the feeling that you wouldn't be much fun to work with." Hundreds of auditions later, and many acting jobs later, the year is now 1978. I'm standing on stage of the Minskoff Theater, New York City, on Broadway, and I'm about to audition for a role in the upcoming musical, King of Hearts. The story takes place in a small French town during World War I, and my agent has told me that they're looking for an actress who can sing and has circus skills. I'm about to audition by singing a lush, romantic ballad with my best French accent. After a few bars of music, I'm going to juggle 3 balls in the air as I continue to sing. I didn't study circus skills for nothing. Promising skies, petals on a pool, drifting, imagine these in one pair of eyes, and this is my beloved. After a few bars of music, I bend down, I whip out 3 lacrosse balls from my purse, and I start to juggle as I continue to sing. And when he moves, and when he walks with me, paradise comes suddenly near. dropped the balls. They bounced all over the stage, and the Minskoff is a very big stage. But I didn't let it stop me. As I continued to sing, I ran around that stage, chasing the balls that were bouncing everywhere, picked them up, and continued to juggle and sing until the final note. And this is my beloved. Within 3 seconds, I heard cheering and enthusiastic applause coming from the wings. All the women waiting in the wings for their turn to audition on the Broadway stage, my competition, had burst into applause and were cheering me. This never happens in a Broadway audition. Well, I got the job, my first role on The Great White Way. And I know that you're wondering what on earth all of this has to do with your need to persuade and inspire your business listeners. Well, the answer lies in the finale to my story. I had to ask myself, what did I do that helped me land that first role on Broadway? And what did I do or not do for those auditions that I told you about earlier when I received some pretty harsh and somewhat strange feedback? First of all, I should tell you that in the theater, it's almost impossible to know why you didn't get the job. But I can tell you what I know for certain. For those 3 auditions that I told you about earlier, I had neglected to apply acting objectives to build their belief. For my King of Hearts audition and every other audition that resulted in a job, I pursued my acting objectives relentlessly. This trained my mind and my body to remain completely committed to the task at hand. For King of Hearts, it trained my mind and my body to stay so focused that I had no emotional availability to be nervous, even after I dropped the balls on the stage. It trained my mind to stay so focused that I was able to run around the stage, pick up the balls, forge ahead, and turn calamity into comedy without thinking. To this very day, I am completely convinced that it was my rock-solid pursuit of my acting objectives, especially after I dropped the balls, that made that audition so funny and landed me that first role on Broadway. That audition experience holds a lesson that's important not only for actors, but for you, a business person who wants to persuade and inspire your business listeners. And that lesson is: pursue acting objectives to build listener belief. Let me tell you how applying this acting technique will help you enhance your credibility when you speak for business. When actors are preparing a role on stage or on camera, they make careful plans about the actions that they're going to take toward their listeners. This helps the audience believe that the make-believe situation is real. So for actors, it's all about actions. For actors, actions speak louder than words. So actors look for acting objectives, and these are actions that lie underneath the words, actions to take toward the listeners. And this helps the actor become motivated to speak the lines that the playwright or the screenwriter wrote, and speak them truthfully, authentically, and conversationally. In rehearsal and performance, actors pursue their acting objectives as if their lives depended on it. This helps the audience believe that the actor and the character are one and the same. Believe that the actor is the character. Now, this applies to you as a business speaker for 2 very important reasons. Number 1, when you're speaking for business, you want your listeners to believe something, to believe that you have the solution to their business problem, for example. Once you've helped them to believe, they will believe that you and your message are one and the same. Believe that you are your message. Now, reason number 2 is this. When you're speaking for business, once you've helped your audience to believe, you have won them over to your side. I just told you about 3 auditions when I received negative feedback as an actor. I had neglected to pursue acting objectives to build their belief. And today I know that's the reason that I got that negative feedback. The auditioners had nothing to focus on but the negative. Well, when you're speaking for business, once you've helped your audience to believe, as I said, they are on your side. And when that happens, your audience will forgive you almost anything. So now we're going to explore and analyze this belief-building process. We're going to take it step by step, and then we'll apply it to your own business speaking situations. When actors are preparing their actions, creating acting objectives, they divide the script. And you should divide any notes that you have for a business talk. You should divide any notes that you have into units. Actors call them beats. Each beat is a separate topic, smaller than the overall message. What is a beat? A beat is a topic of conversation. It's what the speaker is talking about. Not what the speaker is doing with the words, but what the speaker is talking about. Now, I'm going to give you an example of this. I'm going to speak 2 very short beats, 2 very short topics of conversation. I'd like you to see if you can identify the end of beat 1 and the beginning of beat 2. See if you can identify the moment when the beat changes. You might want to close your eyes if it will help you concentrate. I'd like you to raise your hand high in the air the moment you hear the beat change, the end of beat 1 and the beginning of beat 2. I'll begin now. Our company, Teldar Paper, has 33 vice presidents, each earning $200,000 a year. Now, I've just spent the last 2 months analyzing what these guys do, and I still can't figure it out. What I do know is this. Last year, our paper company lost over $110 million. And I'll bet half of that money was spent on all the paperwork going back and forth among all these vice presidents. The new law of evolution in corporate America seems to be survival of the unfittest. Well, in my book, either you do it right or you get eliminated. The end. I saw some hands go up. Where did you hear the end of beat 1 and the beginning of beat 2? Who's got an idea? So you did that beautifully. You identified the end of beat 1 and the beginning of beat 2, and you identified the topic of each beat. Now, to give you a little bit of practice with this, I've included in your handout tonight excerpts from a play called Other People's Money by Jerry Sterner, which was first produced off-Broadway in 1987. Some of you may have seen the play. You may have seen the film with Richard Dreyfuss. Yes, that's right, that's right. We're going to examine how this script should be divided into beats, and then we're going to identify the topic of each beat. So I'm going to ask you to divide this script now into beats, and in the left-hand margin, I'd like you to identify the topic of each beat. Now, when you identify the topic of each beat, make it user-friendly. Make it a simple noun or a noun phrase, something that's easy for you. What is he talking about in the final beat? It's something that we hear about all the time in the year 2015. It's in the news all the time. Greed. Danger, greed. You should always choose acting objectives that are personally appealing and attractive to pursue. And I'm going to give you the definition. You might want to write it in your handout. What is an acting objective? An acting objective is a specific active verb directed toward the listener. It's what I want to do to my listeners, or what I want to make my listeners do, or make my listeners feel. Now, there are 3 ingredients for an effective acting objective, and you might want to write this down. And these are the same 3 ingredients for an effective speaker objective. Ingredient number 1, it should be a specific active verb directed toward the listener. Ingredient number 2, it should be personal and appropriate to the listener's situation as well as the content. Number 3, it should be truthful. Now remember, for our purposes, truthful does not mean actual. Truthful means believable. Now, pursuing acting objectives when you speak gives you energy and focus because it's an action to take toward your listeners, an action that lies underneath the words. Now, listeners pay very close attention to the actions that lie underneath our words. And just to prove that this is true, I'm going to speak for you the final beat of Bill Jorgensen's speech to his board members. I'm going to deliver it to you two ways. First, I'm going to deliver this beat by focusing on the clarity and the meaning of the words. I'm not going to think about an acting objective at all. I'm just going to focus on the clarity and the meaning of the words. Observe my visual and vocal demeanor. A business is worth more than the price of its stock. It's the place where we earn our livings, meet our friends, dream our dreams. It is, in every sense, the very fabric that binds our society together. So, let us say in this meeting today to all the Garfinkels in this land that here we build things. We don't destroy them. Here, we care for more than the price of our stock. Here, we care about people. The end. Now, I'm going to deliver this same beat, the exact same dialogue, and this time I'm going to pursue an acting objective while I'm delivering this beat. My acting objective is to make you, my listeners, vote no on the impending hostile takeover. My objective is to make you, my listeners, vote no. Observe my visual and vocal demeanor. I'll begin now. A business is worth more than the price of its stock. It's the place where we earn our livings, meet our friends, dream our dreams. It is, in every sense, the very fabric that binds our society together. So, let us say here in this meeting to all the Garfinkels in this land that here we build things. We don't destroy them. Here, we care for more than the price of our stock. Here, we care about people. The end. What did you notice? What was the difference in my delivery, the difference between my delivery when I focused on the meaning and the clarity of the words and my delivery when I pursued my acting objective? What did you see and what did you hear? Today, in our work together, we are examining the process. So we are identifying the acting objectives. But when you do this work with your own business presentations and work with acting objectives, and I hope that you will, keep your acting objectives private. Never share them with your listeners. This will strengthen your motivation to speak. Outside of a rehearsal with the whole company and the director, actors rehearse alone. They rehearse aloud, rehearse often, and rehearse at performance level energy. And as they're speaking the words of each beat, they focus on the underlying acting objective. They keep it at the forefront of their minds, and they pursue it as if their lives depended on it. Always be sure that you're communicating, my message is important for you, so I love being here with you. Yes, he was. It was wonderful. It was terrific. And I heard you communicating, my message is important for you, so I love being here with you. Fabulous job. With every fiber of your being, with every breath you take, I don't care if you do an Irish jig, but you're going to do something to engage them. Okay. Right? That's what you're going to do. With every fiber of your being, with every breath you take, beat one again. Go ahead. Yes, yes, yes. It was beautiful. And I heard you communicating, my message is important for you, so I love being here with you. That was tremendous, Jay. Pursuing acting objectives holds 3 powerful benefits for you as a speaker. And you witnessed those benefits tonight. Benefit number 1. It gives you laser beam focus. It galvanizes your energy toward your listeners because it gives you just one thing to think about. Benefit number 2, it makes you immediately engaging. Immediately engaging because it makes you focus on your listeners. It's the fastest, most powerful way to project energy, commitment, passion, and poise. Benefit number 3, it's a completely organic way to make your voice and your physical demeanor support your content. It turns your voice and your body language and your content into a unified, seamless message. When you speak for business, this gives you maximum power and delivers to your listeners maximum impact. Macy's band is swinging, I love Ella singing, 'cause there's something else you know. They know how to say it, they know how to play it, they just wind it up and let it go. I love the thrill of New York shows. I'd love to kiss Doretti's nose, but I'd like to say before I close, I love being here with you. Yes, I love being here with you. Yes, I